Coming up on Takedown with Chris Hansen,
I wasn't trying to do anything.
this man arrested in Polk County, Florida, makes stunning admissions.
So this was just an experiment, an investigation on your part?
Yes, sir.
And how many times have you gone through this cycle?
Twice.
And my interview with him is one you don't want to miss.
I'm Chris Hansen.
I'm not one of these people.
But you have it on your phone.
That's true.
Do you know that's a crime?
I hope you're enjoying this full free episode of Takedown, but there's something else you need to know. Only a small portion of our episodes are on YouTube. There are more than 100 episodes on our streaming service, ad-free and uncensored at watchtrueblu.com. Use the code YouTube24 to watch them all for $2.50 or YouTube Year for $20 off an annual subscription. Also, and this is important, hit the subscribe button below, and we'll see you soon on TruBlu. This is 27-year-old Hassan of Brandon, Florida, an immigrant from the country of Jordan. But the next place he'll reside is the Polk County Jail. Hassan surfaced during Operation Child Protector when he reached out to a foster mom of a 15-year-old girl looking for sex with the child. The messaging back and forth with the undercover detective went on for quite a while. The highlights left little to the imagination. He told the foster mom she could stay in the room while it happened. He wanted her to sign a piece of paper, a document stating that he was actually watching over the 15-year-old girl when the foster mom was gone. He agreed to the rules of no freaky stuff in exchange for $225. And he went into further detail, explaining his plans for the rendezvous with the 15-year-old girl. Hassan arrives at the hotel. The undercover detective texts him she's in the lobby. Hassan wants to meet in the room. He wants to make sure there are no games or anything like that he needs a minute because he's nervous, acknowledges the meetup is risky, that he's scared. He wants to try this, but doesn't know now.
This man has been in contact with the undercover detective posing as the mother of the girl for 24 hours now. He's in the parking lot and he's telling the undercover that he's nervous. He's nervous about meeting the girl. He wants the detective and the deputy posing as that girl to come to his car. Obviously, they're not going to let the undercovers go in the car. But what he wants is partial payment, some sex, and then he'll come into the hotel room. So we're going to watch this play out here.
The strike team watches the parking lot and exterior hotel cameras, trying to anticipate his next move.
So when he says come out to my car, $100.
There's a Toyota 4Runner with a guy there with a white hat. I said, I don't know, I'm looking at my room.
Yeah. Does he say what his car is when he tells you to walk out?
No.
Rather than wait for Hassan to come to the room, detectives apprehend him in the parking lot and bring him inside.
I wasn't trying to do anything, I swear.
Just stand up. Hey.
Sir, please, I wasn't trying to do anything.
Listen, stop talking and just
Okay.
stand up and relax.
Okay,
Stand up.
okay.
Stand up. Does WAS advise anything or no?
No.
I'm not talking to somebody else.
All right, I'm gonna advise you your rights, okay?
He's read his rights and searched. A despondent Hassan is taken to the mobile command center, where his night is about to get even worse.
Hey, Hassan. How you doing? I've got some questions for you. Is that okay? Okay. Why did you come to the hotel tonight?
I was just trying to discover if what was happening is true or not.
You were trying to discover if what was happening was true or not. And what was happening, Hassan? What did you think was happening?
Someone selling their minors or requesting money for minors.
somebody was selling their child for sex
Yes, sir.
in exchange for money. Hassan, what do you think would have happened had that child gone to your car and gotten into your car? Would you have had sex with that child?
No. That was not my intention. I just, like I told them, I was trying to, it's wrong, but I was trying to see if that was happening for real or not. And then when it was confirmed that it's right, I stopped texting and replying, and I wanted to just get away from that site.
You were texting for 24 hours, basically.
That's true.
And how did you find this woman who was trying to sell her daughter for sex?
It was just an ad
An ad. And where was the ad?
on a website.
On a website.
Yes, sir.
And what were you doing on that website, Hassan?
I heard people, coworkers, talk about this website and, you know, what can you do there? All I know is for adults. And then I texted a couple of people, and when she replied, she surprised me with the reply. And I never done it before, but I just wanted
Never done it before.
Yeah, I just wanted to see if this is something that really happens or not.
Did you ever think about calling the police, Hassan?
Yes, sir, I did.
Did you call the police?
No, I did not.
Did you call the sheriffs?
No, I did not.
Why not?
I was just afraid and nervous.
Afraid and nervous. Why did you ask the woman who said she was the girl's mother if she was a virgin?
So I just wanted to see if the mom is like, because she said like, let her try to do whatever she wants and stuff like that. So, in my opinion, is like, this is the first time? Like, did she do it to her before? Like, I was just trying to ask questions on how did that happen.
Did you bring condoms with you?
I have them with me all the time.
You have condoms in your car.
Yes, sir.
Now, in the text, you say to the woman who you thought was the mother, just bring her out. We can have sex for a half hour, and if it goes okay, I'll come inside the hotel room and I'll pay more money. You see how that looks.
Right.
It looks like you were going to have sex with this teenage girl.
Right. And to be honest with you, like I told them, I was just trying to play mind games to see if this person was really trying to do it. And they did come out, but once they came out and I realized that this is like something crazy and it's happening, then that's when I was waiting for them. I stopped replying and I didn't take the call. I was waiting for them to leave so I can go away.
So this was just an experiment, an investigation on your part.
Yes, sir.
But here's what I don't understand, Hassan. What I don't understand is why you didn't call authorities, why you didn't call 911, why you decided to take this upon yourself very late into the evening on a Sunday in Polk County, Florida. I don't understand why somebody would do that. And you know, I hear this all the time. I was just going to help the girl. I wanted to see if, in fact, this was real. I was concerned. And most of the time, I don't believe it, Hassan. Do you see why I don't believe it?
I understand. I understand.
Do you see why it looks like you were going to pay a woman to have sex with her child?
Yes, sir.
Did you bring money?
The money was there already in my wallet.
You had money in your wallet.
Yes, sir.
So you could have paid for sex with this child.
Yeah, but I would not do it.
I know, but you're here.
Yes, sir.
Ask whether or not she's a virgin. There is other talk about sex.
Yes, sir.
What do you do for a living?
I work as a supervisor for.
What do you do as a supervisor? What is your job there?
I help agents motivate them to get more money. I jump on phone calls to help customers with their situations, just improvement, growth, and helping both agents and customers.
And where are you from, Hassan?
Jordan.
Jordan. Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, sir.
And how long have you been here in Florida?
About 10 years.
10 years. Are you married?
Yes, sir.
And where's your wife?
In Jordan.
And do you have kids?
No.
Is your wife planning to come here to be with you?
Yes, sir.
And when was that supposed to happen?
After a year.
After a year.
I'm not buying Hassan's story about just being here to investigate what was going on with the girl, so I press him about his online activities.
Have you ever met anybody online before to have sex?
No.
Never. Have you ever talked to anybody who is underage online before? Have you ever looked at pornography involving children?
I explained to them that I was on this website.
So you have viewed, and I don't want to put words in your mouth, but you have viewed child pornography.
Yes, sir.
Did you download or save any of it?
I downloaded all the videos that comes through that group.
So you downloaded child pornography.
Yes, sir.
Children being sexually exploited.
Yeah.
And when you say child pornography, is this video of adults having sex with children?
They have everything there.
They have everything there. So children having sex, adults having sex with children. And you watch this, Hassan?
Not really.
Not really. But you have it on your phone.
That's true.
Do you know that's a crime?
I didn't know that. So.
You didn't know that. You thought that was okay to watch adults exploiting children sexually?
No.
Do you know that every time somebody views child pornography, that's the re-victimization, Hassan, of a child? It's a felony. Do you get why that's a serious crime?
Yes.
So this is the picture I'm starting to see, Hassan. You come here tonight to meet a teenage girl for sex, and you admit that you view and have child pornography on your phone. What that leads me to believe is that you would have had sex with a child tonight had you been given the opportunity, had this not been a sting operation.
No, sir. I would not do that.
You would not do that. Why should I believe you, Hassan?
I'm not lying. I gave all the information.
You're not lying.
Yes, sir. I gave them.
It's not looking good for you, Hassan.
I understand. And I can't tell people to believe me or not because they have to hear and see. I did tell them exactly my history and everything that was going on, sir.
What Hassan has admitted to is disturbing, but the interview is about to take an even darker turn.
Had you been sexually abused yourself in the past? If you don't want to answer the question, I know it's a very sensitive subject, a very personal subject. If it's true, I'm sorry you had to deal with it. I am, truly. But sometimes there is a link between people who do what you did tonight and the fact that they were sexually exploited as a child. And so I always ask the question. I'm not going to beat you up over it. If you want to talk about it, that's fine. If you don't, I respect that. But the question is obvious. Is there a link of some sort? Did your experience as a child, if you had one, if you were victimized, lead you to act out in this way as an adult?
Yeah.
Can you tell me the answer?
Yes.
Yes. So you were victimized yourself.
Yes.
And is there a link between that and what you did tonight?
Not really.
Not really. What about viewing child pornography?
Yeah. I can give you details, but I really just don't want this to be posted anywhere. I don't want this to be recorded.
Well, I have to record everything you and I talk about.
I understand.
So if you don't want to talk about it, I understand as well.
Yes, sir.
You talk about conducting your own investigation. Do you have law enforcement experience?
No.
Have you ever tried to work in law enforcement?
Yes.
In what capacity?
I tried to be in the Air Force. I tried to work as a sheriff, and I got rejected.
You got rejected. And where did you apply to be a sheriff's deputy?
The Hillsborough.
Hillsborough County, which is where Tampa is. Did you ever apply to the Tampa Police Department?
Yes, sir.
And what happened there?
I started the application. I just never finished it.
Do you think it's appropriate for somebody who did what you did tonight to try to be a law enforcement officer?
Well, that wasn't my goal. Was to always help people and take care of people. And then, like I explained to them, this was a cycle. I never did this coming and all that. I just like investigating stuff. But the thing with pornography, it was just something that happens for a period of time, and then I'll delete everything completely, and then
So it's a cycle for you.
yes, sir,
And how many times have you gone through this cycle, Hassan?
twice.
Twice. And did you view child pornography before you came over
No.
to meet the? When was the last time you looked at child pornography?
I really didn't look into it. It's just in the group.
But you
Like,
looked.
click on
When was
it
the last time
and
you
save
went
it.
in the group to view child pornography?
I go there every day.
Every day.
Yes, sir.
So it's not just a cycle. You do this every day.
But the explanation for this is totally different. It's not for that group is not for children.
Well, I'm confused. So there's a group that traffics child pornography, and you go into that group and look at child pornography.
No.
Then help me to explain what you do.
So that group is for adults.
Right.
But these adults, they post everything.
They post child pornography,
Yes, sir.
and you look at the child pornography. And when was the last time you looked at child pornography?
Yesterday.
Yesterday. So you looked at child pornography. You had this discussion online with someone you thought was a woman selling their 15-year-old girl for sex. You ask if she's a virgin. You show up here with money.
I did not have.
You ask her to bring the girl to your car to have sex, and if it goes okay, you'll come into the hotel room to have more sex. That's what you said online.
I just wanted to see how far it's going.
Wanted to see how far it was going to go. You said you were nervous. The texts you sent are very damning. I mean, what should happen to you, Hassan? What should happen to you? I'm curious what you think. You're going to go to jail tonight. You know that, right? These are serious charges. And when they see the child pornography on your phone, that's another serious charge. Well, Hassan, there's something you need to know. I'm Chris Hansen. And I do stories on men who try to meet children for sex. Predators. And you're in one of those stories.
I understand that, sir, but I'm not one of these people. I swear, all I want is to have a family. I wanted to just have a house, have my wife, and have my children, and just live a happy life. But it's just things happen in my life. I'm in debt. I got cancer, all that. But that's not an excuse, and I understand that. And stuff happened to me. And again, I know you don't believe me. And you put me in that category, but I swear to God, I will never do something like that.
I'm sorry about the cancer. How are you doing with that?
Thank God I'm good.
Okay. So you're getting through it.
Yes, sir.
I'm very concerned about everything you did tonight. And I'm very concerned that you have child pornography on your phone. Because the picture that's emerging here is that you're a guy who viewed child pornography and then went out and tried to have sex with a child. And that follows a pattern of what we see in our investigations into predators, men who try to have sex with children. And that's exactly what it appears you were trying to do tonight. And if there's anything else that you want people to know, please share it.
I just want to say that I never do this to any children. I never do that to anybody. I never had even sex with a lady that's not mine. The truth is I had offered sex from an underage girl, 16, 15 years old, and I didn't do it. And I had from adults above 18, never do it.
But you're here, Hassan, tonight. You got in your car, you drove from Brandon to Lakeland
That's true.
with money in your pocket and condoms in your car.
That's true.
After admitting that you viewed child pornography to meet a 15-year-old girl being sold by her foster mother. Come on, Hassan. What I think is that if that girl had gone out to the car, you would have had sex with her.
I'm sorry.
Well, come on. I mean, what am I supposed to believe?
That's fine.
What would you believe? You're the guy who wanted to be a sheriff's deputy, a cop. What if you were sitting where I'm sitting? What would you think? You'd think what I think, don't you think? You said that you just wanted a good life. Your wife to move here, to have kids. What do you have now based upon this incident tonight?
I don't have nothing.
What are you going to tell your family? What are you going to tell your wife? I don't think sorry is going to cut it, Hassan. All right, anything else you want to tell me? All right, well, I thank you for talking to me. I appreciate it. All right, sir. Thank you again.
Okay.
It's draining. I mean, what do you think? Child porn, 24 hours of sexually charged conversations with a woman he thought was selling her daughter. Hassan's got a rough road ahead. These are going to be serious crimes, for good reason.
Hassan was charged with using a computer to solicit a parent or guardian, traveling to meet after using a computer to solicit a guardian, use of a two-way communication device to commit a felony, and human trafficking. We'll keep you posted on the case against Hassan. Polk County Sheriff Grady Judd acknowledges the admissions made by Hassan are concerning, especially when it comes to his attempts to be in law enforcement.
Hassan, who had child pornography on his phone, admitted to it. He had applied for a job as a sheriff's deputy in a neighboring county, had started the application process to become a Tampa police officer. Child porn on his computer, admitted it. There to meet a teenage girl for sex. You can't make this up, Sheriff.
Oh, no, you can't. And then they have an excuse like, well, I was doing my own investigation. Or I was pretending to investigate so that when I really got to be in law enforcement, I would know how to do that.
How about call 911?
Yes, I mean, that's all a show. That's all a game. That's all just to try to convince normal world that they didn't really mean it. Well, yes, they meant it. They meant to have child pornography. And if the community, if we could discuss, and we can't for the filthiness of it, what we really see in this child pornography, it's not kiddie porn of two 16-year-olds that look like they're 24 that are engaged in sexual conduct. It's adult males having intercourse with infants as young as in diapers. That's what we call child porn. And that same person came to our undercover op to sexually abuse another child.
And you have to wonder, I mean, you'd hope a sheriff's department or police department would detect that this person wasn't a viable candidate, but what happens if somebody like that gets on the force?
That's why we do polygraphs. That's why we do detailed background investigations, because I can tell you from a lifetime of experience dealing with criminals and dealing with deviant criminals. They don't just wake up this morning for the first time and say, let me tune up some child porn. Let me wake up today, otherwise a stellar citizen, and see if I can find a child to rape. That's not how that works. It's in their psyche. They have built up to that level. So it's something that when you're hiring people, you have to be very cautious of. Now think about this for a minute. We're the only industry that gives polygraphs and psychologicals before we hire. What about our medical personnel or our school teachers that we share the most intimate information, or we share our bodies to be treated, or we send our kids to school? Those folks, none of them have psychologicals. None of them have polygraphs. That's what scares me, Chris. It's not the sexual predator or child pornographer I know that concerns me. We can watch them. It's the one I don't know that concerns me.
WatchTruBlu.com is home to the full library of Takedown with Chris Hansen. true crime documentaries, and exclusive investigations.